Until now, we have discussed the four colligative properties, which we will revise all of them one by one. First is relative lowering in vapor pressure. Relative lowering in vapor pressure is given by the expression P naught A minus Pa over P naught A, which is equivalent to the mole fraction of solute. Mole fraction is defined as number of moles of solute divided by total number of moles. That is number of moles of solute plus number of moles of solvent. But generally we will consider the dilute solution. So we will neglect the number of moles of solute in comparison to the number of moles of solvent. Second is the elevation in boiling point, which is given by the expression delta Tb is equal to Kbm, where Kb is the molar ebullioscopic constant and m is the molality. Molality of solution is defined as number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. The next colligative property which we have discussed is the depression in freezing point, which is given by delta Tf and it is equivalent to Kfm, where Kf is the molar cryoscopic constant and m is the molality of the solution. Again, molality is given by number of moles of solute divided by mass of solvent in kg. And the last colligative property which we have discussed is the osmotic pressure, which is equivalent to CRT, where C is the concentration in terms of molarity. Molarity is defined as number of moles of solute divided by volume of solution in liters into R into T. But one thing we have to focus here is that all the solutes which we have considered here are non-electrolytes, means they will not undergo neither association nor dissociation in the solution. For example, urea, glucose, sucrose, etc. Now, if we take the solute which is electrolyte like NaCl, MgCl2, potassium ferrocyanide, etc., then the colligative property which we will observe is not equivalent to the calculated colligative property, because the electrolytes, they will undergo either association or dissociation in the solution. Association means collection of the molecules to form one molecule, and dissociation means dissociate into separate ions. For example, NaCl, it will undergo 100% dissociate to form sodium plus and chloride ions. Now, in this case, the observed colligative property is not equivalent to calculated colligative property, because the colligative property which we will have actually calculated from the formula which we have discussed till now is according to the 1 mole of NaCl. But actually in the solution, because of dissociation, we have obtained 2 moles of sodium chloride. One is sodium plus and other is chloride ion. So observed colligative property is according to the 2 moles. So we can say that observed colligative property is not equivalent to calculated colligative property. Let us take another example to understand more clearly. Like MgCl2, it is another electrolyte. On dissociation, it will produce magnesium 2 plus and 2 chloride ions. So the calculated colligative property is according to 1 mole of MgCl2. But in actually we will have observed 3 moles. So observed colligative property is not equivalent to calculated colligative property here. Now, to account for this association or dissociation of solute, Van Hoff scientist introduced a factor which is called as Van Hoff factor. It is represented by eta. Now, what is eta? Eta is the total number of moles of solute after dissociation or association divided by total number of moles of solute before dissociation or association. Now, we will also express in terms of colligative property eta, which is equivalent to observed colligative property divided by calculated colligative property. Or we know that colligative property is inversely proportional to the molar mass. So the molar mass which we will observe according to observed colligative property is abnormal. So it is written in denominator. And calculated colligative property corresponding to this molar mass, we have the normal molar mass. So it is written here, since they are inversely related to each other. Now consider the case of dissociation of an electrolyte. For example, NaCl is an electrolyte which dissociate in the solution to produce sodium plus and chloride ion. Now, initially we have the one molecule of NaCl and sodium plus and chloride ions are not formed in the solution. But as we know, it's 1 mole dissociate to form 1 mole of sodium plus and 1 mole of chloride ion. Now, if it's alpha mole dissociated, they will form alpha moles of sodium plus and alpha moles of chloride ions. And now we will discuss ITA, Van't-Hoff factor, for this NaCl electrolyte. Van't-Hoff factor, as we have discussed, it is the ratio of number of particles of solute after dissociation divided by number of particles of solute before dissociation. Now here number of particles of solute after dissociation is 1 minus alpha, which is present of NaCl after dissociation, plus alpha moles of sodium plus and alpha moles of chloride ions, and before dissociation it is 1 mole. So ITA is equal to 1 plus alpha. Now we will derive the general expression for dissociation. Like, consider an electrolyte An where it dissociates to form n particles of A. Now initially we have 1 mole of An and here it is 0. Now alpha mole dissociated to form n alpha particles of Na. Now ITA, again we have discussed, it is the ratio of number of particles of solute after dissociation divided by number of particles before dissociation. So after dissociation we have 1 minus alpha plus n alpha divided by 1, which is initial amount. So we will get the expression general for degree of dissociation alpha, which is the ratio of ITA minus 1 divided by n minus 1, where n is the number of particles of solute undergoing dissociation or association. For example, in case of NaCl electrolyte, the n factor is 2. So alpha is equal to ITA minus 1 in case of NaCl, or we can say that ITA is equal to 1 plus alpha, which we will have calculated here. ITA is equal to 1 plus alpha. Now consider the case of association. Association means combining of the particles to form one particle. Firstly, we will consider the dimerization process, in which two molecules of a electrolyte combine to form one particle. For example, carboxylic acid, particularly acetic acid, in benzene, it will undergo 100% association to form one dimer, means two molecules of this acetic acid combine to form one molecule, and they are connected via hydrogen bonding. Now if we will calculate for ITA for this carboxylic acid, it is the ratio of, we know that number of particles of solute after dissociation or association divided by number of particles before dissociation or association. Now after association we will get one particle, so it is 1, and before association it is 2, so denominator we have written 2. So ITA comes out to be half, means less than 1. In case of dissociation we are getting ITA greater than 1, but in case of association we always get ITA less than 1. This point has to be remembered. Now similarly, dimerization, we have the trimerization also takes place for some electrolytes. In that case ITA comes out to be 1 by 3. In case of tetramer is formed, then ITA comes out to be 1 by 4. Now we will consider the case of association previously. Now we will calculate degree of association here for the electrolytes if they will not undergo 100% association. Like acetic acid, if it does not undergo 100% association, initially we have 1 mole of acetic acid, then we will get 0 mole. Here we have 2 mole, then we are getting 1 mole. But if we are considering 1 mole, then we are getting nothing. Similarly, if alpha mole are associated, then we will get half of alpha, that is alpha by 2. Now we will consider the general expression for any electrolyte which is undergoing association. Now consider Na electrolyte which associate to form An. Initially 1, then its An have particles 0. 1 minus alpha, then its alpha by n. Similarly by analogy of this. Now ITA is equal to number of particles of electrolyte or solute after association. It is 1 minus alpha plus alpha by n. So iota comes out to be 1 plus, on taking alpha common, alpha bracket में 1 by n minus 1. Now we know that iota is equal to ratio of observed colligative property divided by calculated colligative property. So observed colligative property becomes iota times of calculated colligative property. So because of this inclusion of factor iota, the equations which we have studied for colligative properties, all of them will be modified. Like relative lowering in vapor pressure, we have P naught A minus PA divided by P naught A, which is firstly we have studied equivalent to mole fraction of solute. Now it becomes iota times of mole fraction of solute. Similarly, for elevation in boiling point, it is first equivalent to kbm. Now it becomes iota times of kbm. Similarly, for depression in freezing point, the expression becomes delta Tf equals to iota times of kfm. For osmotic pressure, it becomes pi is equal to iota times of Cr. Now we will have to focus that these equations are applicable for electrolytes as well as for non-electrolytes. In case of non-electrolytes, what we will done, we have take the iota factor equals to 1. But for case of electrolyte which undergo association or dissociation, we have studied how to calculate the value of iota. So we will put the value of iota to calculate the value of colligative property.